My wife, Lily, had been counting down the days to her company's annual holiday party. For weeks, it was all she could talk about. As a marketing manager at a bustling tech firm, this night was a crown jewel of her year. The day of the event, she was a whirlwind of anticipation. She deliberated over dresses, perfected her hair, and reapplied her lipstick a dozen times. When she finally emerged from our bedroom in a stunning crimson gown, I told her she looked beautiful. And she did. But beneath my admiration, a cold, sharp knot of unease tightened in my gut. I told myself I was being irrational. She was my wife. I had nothing to fear. The party venue was a symphony of laughter, clinking glasses, and music. Lily was a natural star in this firmament. Colleagues flocked to her, drawn by her energy, complimenting her dress, hanging on her every word. I lingered on the periphery, the supportive husband, a polite smile fixed on my face. Then I saw him, Ethan, the tall, charismatic colleague whose name had surfaced in her office stories a little too often for my liking. His eyes found Lily instantly, lighting up with a possessive gleam that completely bypassed my presence. "Lily, you look incredible," he said, his voice smooth as silk. She flushed, a faint pink rising on her cheeks. "Thank you, Ethan. You don't look so bad yourself." The knot in my stomach pulled tighter. I tried to ignore it, to bury the feeling. But as the night wore on, his presence became a constant, grating note in the music of the evening. He was always there, leaning too close, whispering words that made her laugh, his hand finding excuses to brush her arm. It was a performance of casual intimacy that felt anything but casual. Then the music softened, and the host announced the couple's dance. I took a step toward Lily, but Ethan was faster. He appeared before her, hand extended. "May I have this dance?" he asked, his eyes locked on hers. I held my breath, waiting for her to politely decline. Instead, she hesitated, that same smile playing on her lips. "Sure," she said. "Just one." The floor fell out from under me. I stood, paralyzed, as she let him lead her to the center of the room. They moved together, and the space between them vanished. His arm was a firm band around her waist. Her hand rested lightly on his shoulder. Every spin, every shared laugh felt like a deliberate public betrayal. When the song ended, he dipped her low, and as the applause erupted, his eyes met mine over her shoulder, a smirk of triumph etched on his face. I didn't say a word. I finished my drink, set the glass down with a quiet finality, and waited for him to bring her back. As they approached, his smirk still firmly in place, he had the audacity to clap me on the shoulder. "Man, your wife is a fantastic dancer." "Lucky guy," I replied, my voice dangerously quiet. "Yeah," I said, my smile not reaching my eyes. "Luckier than you realize." Lily looked between us, her expression nervous. "Ethan, maybe you should." I cut her off, my gaze fixed on him. "Actually, Ethan, since you seem so comfortable getting close to other men's wives, let me show you my preferred way of dancing." The smirk vanished. "Hey, man, relax." He didn't get to finish. My fist connected with his jaw in a single, decisive crack. The room plunged into a stunned silence, broken only by the crash of him stumbling back into a table and hitting the floor. A chorus of gasps echoed around us. Lily grabbed my arm, her voice a sharp, horrified whisper. "James, what is wrong with you?" I looked down at Ethan, clutching his face. "Consider that your warning dance," I said, my voice even. "The next one won't be so polite." As security rushed over, I remained preternaturally calm. "I'm done here," I stated, and turned for the exit. Lily followed, her heels clicking frantically behind me. "You humiliated me," she cried once we were outside. I stopped dead and looked her in the eye. "No, Lily, you humiliated us." I just ended the performance you started. The drive home was a canyon of silence. When we finally pulled into the driveway, she broke it. "It was just a dance, James. You completely overreacted." I turned to her, the night's fury finally simmering to the surface. "You let another man hold you like that in front of everyone. You let him act as if I were a ghost. Do you really call that just a dance?" Tears filled her eyes. "I never meant to hurt you." I simply nodded. The intention didn't matter. The damage was done, and an entire room of witnesses had seen it. The fallout was swift. Ethan called in sick the next day. The story became office legend. Lily was summoned by her boss for a painful conversation about professional boundaries. She came home looking shattered. "They think I was encouraging him," she said miserably. "They said I made the company look bad. Actions have consequences." I replied, my voice soft but firm. "You didn't respect our marriage in that moment. Now you understand how it feels when that respect is taken away." Weeks passed. The frost between us eventually began to thaw. Lily apologized, truly and repeatedly, admitting she'd been swept up in the flattery and the moment. I forgave her, not because the hurt was gone, but because clinging to my anger would only poison us both. Ethan, as expected, made himself scarce. I had no need to speak to him again. The message had been delivered, loud and clear. And now, whenever that party is mentioned, people don't remember the food or the music. They remember the quiet husband who stood up and showed a room that respect isn't a given. It's earned. And when it's treated lightly, it can be knocked out with one clean punch. Why this rewrite works for growing your audience. Improve pacing and flow. The paragraphs are broken up to create more tension and make it easier to read. Stronger verbs and descriptions. Phrases like "a cold, sharp knob unease, possessive gleam," and "canyon of silence" create a more vivid picture. Heightened emotional depth. The internal conflict of the narrator is more nuanced, moving from unease to cold fury to resolution. Refined dialogue. The exchanges feel more natural and impactful, especially the final lines, which carry more weight. Professional Polish. The overall piece reads like a published short story, which builds credibility and makes viewers more likely to subscribe for more quality content.